We'll talk a little bit about Joe Biden because we haven't done that in a day, and then we'll bring in some questions and we'll talk JC. AJ, tell folks what you wrote about, what your point of view was on the Biden cancer story and the Biden acuity story.
Yeah, so I will preface this because I've seen many of the same sentiment echoed, some of it in the chat, but on this story of why are we talking about this? This is old. He should focus on recovery. The guy in the office has dementia. It's
Yeah.
nothing compared. This story impacts the United States electorate, right? Whether you like it or not, this story has far-reaching implications in both the present and future of American political discourse. And what it comes down to is two distinct stories that are converging into one. So the first is that, for those, just a small refresher, for those who don't know, back in October of 2023, Biden had a longer interview, about 5 hours, with Special Prosecutor Robert Hur. In the aftermath of the interview, Hur declined to charge or to recommend charges against the president, saying that a jury might find that despite clear violations, both as a senator and vice president, of taking classified material that he's not supposed to and basically stashing it in a wide array of locations, that a jury might find him to just be a well-meaning old man with memory issues. Right? In the aftermath of that, there was a full-on smear campaign against Hur. And Jake Tapper has recently written a book about the decline and the cover-up of the cognitive decline of the president. The tapes last Friday of the Hur interview leaked. And then 2 days later, on Sunday, the president's family disclosed that on that same day, on that Friday when the tapes leaked, they had discovered that he had late stage 4 cancer, right? On a scale of 10, 9 out of 10 late stage prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is a very slow moving cancer. According to Ezekiel Emanuel, Rahm Emanuel's brother, who's a notable oncologist, he certainly had this cancer probably when he was elected the first time, when he was elected president back in 2020. So my pieces are my first instinct, and why I started writing the pieces was not, it doesn't add up. Right. So two things come about with the cancer diagnosis. The first is how does the most monitored patient with unlimited access to testing and treatable resources, and who's 80 years old and clearly going through some sort of decline, how does he have undetected cancer for years? Right? How is that acceptable for the United States president to have that? It impacts us. Right, it impacts us that the chief executive.
It's malpractice or a lie. There's no other explanation.
Right. So that's it. It's either malpractice or a lie. Right. So the second is, with the release of the tapes, or with the leak of the tapes, it's very clear that a fraud was perpetrated on the American public. Right. And why should we care about this, both right and left? Is there's a sacred covenant between those who ask for your vote and those and the voters. Right. And that covenant is that it's a social contract. I ask you for your vote, and in turn, for giving me power, I'm going to tell you certain truths. Right. And I'm not going to perpetrate a fraud and a lie on you. Right. And what's very clear is that a fraud was perpetrated on the American public for years, at least, by the president, by the office of the presidency, facilitated by the media, about the cognitive decline of the president. And the question is, did that stop at just the cognitive? Or did it include as well the cover-up of potential cancer?